So we have finally reached the end of World War II. Well, World War II, at least from the American side. We are heading towards the epilogue of the game, which is the last mission, and we are supposed to save our friend who has been captured by Nazis. I'm pretty sure we're going to be heading in towards the concentration camp, so it's not going to be a not going to be a nice sight to behold, but we're going to have to go there to save our friend and to receive that call of duty feeling of following your duty, which is freedom, friendship, and the American way. Ready? Let's do this.
Deserted.
Okay.
It's still burning. They must have just left.
There's a barracks over there.
Yeah, the interesting thing about the concentration camps towards the end of the war was that a lot of the civilians, as in the German civilians, were not even aware that the German soldiers had concentration camps set up to annihilate the annihilate the Jewish people. So what the Allies did at the end of the war was to force these German civilians to go through these concentration camps and to tell them, hey, this is what your soldiers were doing to the civilians. It's a way to teach the German civilians that the horrors of war, the horrors of Hitler, how you guys were totally blindly following
The world's
crazy men, essentially.
They had them living worse than animals. From the looks of it, they were beaten, starved, and worked to the bone.
Over here.
The Nazis had murdered our boys in cold blood, and no fire in hell could burn away the stain.
I'm guessing they made an example out of them.
So when Hitler found out that he was not going to win the war, he basically enacted a scorched earth policy, which is destroy everything. Like if the Allies wanted to win the war, to take our land, well, we're going to give Allies nothing.
They'd slaughtered
To
the
come to.
weakest, anyone that was slowing them down.
Daniels, over here.
So it's not surprising that they killed all the prisoners before they left.
Daniels, you gotta see this. Tracks lead to the fields. That's where they must have marched on.
And that's where we're going.
I wouldn't get your hopes up, Corporal.
I made a promise to Zussman.
We'll find him. I just can't guarantee we'll find him alive.
Sergeant, I'll take point. Zussman!
Red! Red, take the shot!
Everything's coming full circle. All I've done, all I wish I'd done. It's like my whole life is leading to this moment.
We need to head home, baby brother.
Paul!
You died right there in the snow. All because I couldn't. Damn it. I'm coming, Zussman. You're not gonna die, brother. Not now. Not today.
Oh, isn't that interesting? So what we just learned was our character's backstory was that our
Zussman!
idol was we weren't able to save our idol, and we felt like we were incompetent, and now we have even more reasons to prove to the world and prove to ourselves that we can still do something about it. It's to be able to find our friend, to be able to save him, and to basically redeem ourselves. So this is our redeeming ourselves chance. The forest is pretty dense, so let's see. Okay, find assessment 40 meters away. See, we got a Colt and we got a Grand. Oh, this is nice. That means that we still have a chance to save. I'm gonna give you a headshot.
Is it over? You must be dreaming.
What'd they do?
Thought you were left behind. And I'm gonna die alone out here.
Drink some. Easy now.
Come on, let's get on here. Into the Jeep, come on. General.
You always looked out for me, Paul. And I reckon you did today. Because there's only one thing that keeps you going on that long march. And that's having your brothers beside you.
When history called, you answered. From all walks of life, you came to defend peace and freedom. I thank you, and the world thanks you. Wherever your path takes you, know this. You will always be amongst a brotherhood of heroes.
Well, this is it, fellas. Zussman wanted you to have it.
And you'll need it more than me. You got a kiddo now.
Thanks for the vote of confidence.
Yeah, you'll be fine. Gentlemen. Queens! Your prodigal son returns!
You gonna be okay?
Gotta say bye to Zussman. Going home, Sergeant?
I am home. What about you? You gonna re-up?
I've been away from Texas for a long time.
You take care, farm boy.
I will. When my son asks what I did, I'll tell him I fought with the first. And that crazy bastard Pearson.
Crazy ain't the half of it.
If you're ever in Chicago,
I'll get there.
oh, maybe I'll surprise you in Longview first.
You're welcome anytime.
You know, when they captured us, it wasn't just our freedom that they took. Even though we were together, and we were alone, looking for any way to survive. Well, you could have gone home a hero. Why'd you come back?
I saw that life. Just couldn't live it. To the end.
To the end.
And is that it?
The dream was different last night. This time we made it home. Together. I can still hear the wolves, Paul. Sometimes I still see him coming. But you showed me how to fight him. So this belongs to you. Because the sacrifice you made taught me that a hero will risk it all to save his brother. And you'll always be both to me.
All right, it's a pretty good happy ending. We return to our wife, and now we can watch our child grow up. So there you have it. We just completed the newest Call of Duty game. How does it feel? How do you feel? Did you enjoy the game? Well, there's so much I can say about the game, but let's shorten it to and concentrate it as much as possible. So this game is very entertaining, obviously, to watch. And the reason why it's so entertaining is because Call of Duty has that formula where it's constantly engaging. So you're not always doing the same thing for long periods of time. For example, if you're entering a hallway to shoot a bunch of bad guys, shoot a couple of Nazis, something else will change. Now you will have to go on the roof, you will have to use the sniper, and then you will run into an area where there's trucks. Then you can drive the truck, and then you will suddenly switch to shooting from the truck. So it's constantly nice and evenly paced to give you this sudden burst of adrenaline. So that, I feel, is why Call of Duty did such a great job and survived long enough as a first-person shooter to really conquer the market of first-person shooters. And one of the brand that did not survive was Medal of Honor. Now, if you played the original Medal of Honor, which was the company that created this whole entire World War II era, they didn't survive enough because they focused way too much on the story instead of the action. And nowadays, we just want to go and shoot. Like, we just want to go on a gun range and then start shooting. But of course, we want some variety, right? We want a story to give it purpose. So that is where the Call of Duty shines. That's a pro of Call of Duty World War II. Now, as the downside of it, the con side is because it's so focused on the action, the story compared to other games out there the story isn't quite there. It has a cast of characters, but I feel like the cutscenes are a little too long. They are dragging on, and the reason why they drag on is because these are forgettable characters. I might be a little harsh for saying that, but it's like when you're playing through the game, you're wondering, what is the purpose of this mission? And how is this mission related to the entire war? And the cruelness of the Nazis. Why we must win this war for not only United States, but for the whole world, for freedom. And I feel like this game does not quite capture that, but it makes up in action. So I hope you enjoy this game, and see you next time as we play the next hot game. Like and subscribe. I'll see you next time.